But anyway, this is the Raw after the Saturday night's main event, and they open up the program, and then like a Mussolini, he won the belty. And here comes Punk, and this was a hot crowd. They liked everything considerably more than some of the people have lately. But he got the big response. And again, as you said a few minutes ago, he looks like he's having the time of his life. He's shaking hands, he's hugging people, everybody's happy. They've finally achieved what Vince always wanted. We want to put smiles on people's faces. Well, put the belt on Punk. And they chanted, "You deserve it," and etc. And so I like that he thanked Larry first, because after all, behind every great man is his dog. And then came AJ Lee and the fans and Jey Uso. But that's the thing, is that he knows how to talk to people, and he can be a baby face without coming out there and being nicey, kissy. He's just honest about his emotions or gratitude or whatever, instead of being, but at the same time, he keeps his little edge. Whereas Cody sometimes veers into the sweetness every now and then.
The theater. Cody ventures into the theater. What did you think? Did you hear it sounded almost like Jey Uso was booed a little bit when he said his name?
Yes, there was a little when he said Jey Uso, there was a little rumble, which we talked about that. Is some people still take it personally and they get mad at the guys. I mean, it all these things will pass, but there was a noticeable, But basically, he cut another good babyface promo as a new champion. And he knows that he's a target and he could lose any time, so he's got to watch out. And he plugged the bronze and wants to punch all of them in the face and fight the best. He mentioned AJ and Dominic and JD and Finn and Sheamus and John Cena. Anybody who's earned it, the champ is here. You want some, come get some. And the music plays, and it's Logan Paul. And I was wondering where he'd been. I'd almost forgot about him. And Punk was great here, because instead of standing slack-jawed and fucking gape-mouthed, dumbfounded like everybody else does, he reacted the whole way, and he didn't wait for the music to stop playing before he started speaking again. He's like, "No, anybody but you." And that goes back to something, Brian, you and I were talking about on one of the shows we did recently, where I said the announcer being in between back in the, first 60 or 70 years of television wrestling gave some kind of visual to the people separation between the two, so that they could be in the same camera shot, so that you could see a guy reacting to facially and with body language when another guy's speaking. And there was instead of them having to just stand across the ring and look at each other, and that's what they do now. But Punk was reacting to what Logan Paul was doing. He's like, go to SmackDown, take Ilya's challenge, not you, you're the shits, right? And of course, Logan Paul does his heel shit. And then suddenly you hear Heyman's voice. And out he comes with the bronze. And of course, Paul Lee says, Punk earlier referred to himself feeling like a king without a crown. And Paul said, "I don't see a king without a crown. It's a bitch without an owner." I'm like, Jesus Christ. And Paul says that Braun is the front of the line and orders Logan Paul to get out of the ring. And I'm thinking, well, I'm not sure about this, but Logan Paul refuses because he was there first. And then Braun starts. And this guy he's not just the screaming, drooling, offspring of a dog-faced gremlin and a fucking whatever. He's got inflection. He's got levels to his promo. I'm loving him more and more every day. Braun says Paul bought everybody a couple of weeks to live until the new champion was crowned. And, we found out what was going to go on there. And now I'm not waiting. So he cuts promo on all of them. And by the way, this is going long. And did you see the report that this segment went about 10 minutes longer than it was supposed to? Because
oh no, I did not see
this week's
that.
Raw on Netflix, this week's Raw is like 2 hours and 48 minutes or whatever. So anyway, he's not waiting. But the thing is, they're stars. These are the big, I'd rather see them talk and do it well than see, Los Garza dipshit versus Tits McGee for 20 minutes. So Punk tells Logan Paul either we're about ready to fight, so either fight or get out of my ring. And so Logan Paul gets out, which was great. But the Brawns wouldn't let him by, and Braun Breaker shoved Logan Paul, who, did you see him hit the back of his head on the fucking ring on their LED board?
That was bad.
I heard a clunk too. I did that one night on Raw on the fucking stairs, and kind of liquid came out my nose all night. But anyway, so Reed and Breaker swarm Punk, and boom, 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 they're beating him up. And then Logan Paul comes in and finally to do something, but they beat him up. And then Bronson Reed splashes Logan Paul. And then Punk comes in with a chair and clears the ring and gets the CM Punk chance. And the heels took off, and Logan Paul's there selling. And we're 26 minutes into the show. But as I said, I'd rather see all the guys that can talk do it and get an angle going than the miscellaneous matches. This didn't feel as long as these goddamn opening show soliloquies normally are, because they kept bringing more people out and they could all talk. I don't know did you nod off?
No, I really liked it, and I didn't get tired of it. I didn't realize it went that long. It went by pretty quickly, and I think it's in part because Logan Paul was a surprise. I mean, I didn't think, what if Logan Paul and Punk start their feud tonight? So him coming out there was a surprise, and the way it played out, just in this segment alone, not even talking about the main event, it all was what's going to happen, what's about to happen. I feared we would get Adam Pearce storming out there, stop everything, we'll have a match. Like, I was dreading that happening, and it didn't. And it didn't happen. So it felt different. It ended differently than a lot of these things do. We could discuss Logan Paul taking the splash and returning later on, but whatever.
Yeah.
But I thought this was great, and it was intriguing because you didn't know what would happen exactly with Punk and Logan Paul, and then all of a sudden, as soon as Heyman and the Brawns come out, now you really don't know what's going to happen because they're insulting Logan Paul too. He's standing there. Me personally, I didn't have any thoughts of what if Logan Paul joins the Heyman stable. So I thought this was a great segment.
Well, and in theory, Logan Paul can occupy the Seth Rollins position to where, there's a single egomaniac, and then there's these two tag team guys with one kind of egomaniac, and Bronson Reed's the Arn Anderson, and that's fine. And, they can kind of do maybe sort of whatever it was they were going to do to begin with. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Except Logan Paul doesn't have as bad a fashion sense as Seth Rollins.
Logan Paul is so good. When he came out there and got on the mic, it's not that he's even saying anything that other heels haven't said or couldn't say, but you believe him. You absolutely believe he's this conceited prick.
Yes.
You believe it, and he's so good in that role.
And because there is, I'm sure, a great element of art imitating life. He carries it off so well, it's very natural to him.
But we just talked the other day It may have even been a Saturday Night's Main Event review. I'm not even sure when. We've recorded a lot recently. About who's the champion going to feud with next, whether it was Cody or Punk. Like, what's out there? Obviously, Braun and Bronson are out there, but there's a lot of things, I don't know. I mean, Randy Orton and Cody is something they haven't really done yet, pulled the string on yet, but you could tell that it's been set up a little bit. But what about Punk? We didn't think about Punk and Logan Paul.
What? We didn't think about Logan Paul.
We didn't think about Logan Paul. Kind of like Punk's promo here. He didn't even mention it. Reality and wrestling, but we didn't even talk about him. That is something different. That is something new. That is something I'd want to see, especially the promos back and forth.
Well, and besides that, now I can see also. Well, we'll go ahead and talk about the end of the show if you want to at the same time here, and then come back and fucking pick up a couple of other things. But the point is with Paul and with Logan Paul and Paul Heyman aligned with each other. They could do the deal where Logan Paul's a fucking businessman. He's the fucking prime guy. He's the mover and shaker. But he needs the fucking Heyman is a goddamn agent. Heyman's a powerful fucking guy. They join together, and Heyman's like, yes, a client like this, they can put each other over. But Heyman and that group can add something to Logan Paul, who's not there all the time, and now he's got somebody to talk for him and keep him alive when he may not be there. You see where I'm going? So I like that, and then Braun can still be jealous of Logan Paul at some point, or vice versa. And what happens when Rollins gets back? He's going to be a babyface because he's coming back from an injury. So you guys, yeah, there you go. So they're, I think, doing a good job of piecing back together whatever they were trying to accomplish in the first place.